it's Bernice here again from Beef at Ascot. So I thought this afternoon I would make some oat cookies for the children when they get home from school. So I'm going to use coconut oil instead of butter, but you can use butter, that's absolutely fine. And I always use real butter rather than anything like a margarine, because margarine things is full of additives. I'd much prefer to use a natural product. So I do use butter in quite a lot of my cooking, but today I'm going to give these a slightly different flavour with coconut oil. So 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, this one's a little bit crumbly, going into a pan. And I'm just going to pop that on the hob to melt slightly while I pop the other ingredients into a bowl. So just popping that on the hob to melt, and now I'm going to add the oats. So we've got 100 grams of oats. I've used gluten-free and these are nice and fine, which make a slightly softer, chewier cookie. So 100 grams of oats, and then I've only got plain flour in the house. I'd usually use a spelt flour or a more wholemeal flour for these cookies, but I've only got normal, so I'm going to pop those in. I'm just going to double check my coconut oil, because that is nearly cooked, and a tiny bit more. That just needs to soften slightly so you can pop it in with the cookies. I'm now going to add some baking powder, so 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and then 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. So that's all my dry ingredients there. You can add a little bit more cinnamon if you like yours slightly stronger, but my children aren't as keen on cinnamon. You can also add raisins to this recipe as well. So once you've added all the rest of the ingredients, you can add raisins to the mix. Going to add some vanilla essence. So 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence going in there as well. And then I like to use maple syrup. You can use agave syrup, you can use honey, whatever you prefer for this recipe, but it's unrefined sugar, which means that they're a lot healthier. So no white sugar going in here. And so I'm going to use 1/2 cup of the maple syrup. I love maple syrup, it gives it a really nice flavour. So in that goes. And now I should be ready with the coconut oil. A little bit melting, so I'm going to just cool that slightly, so you don't want it to be really hot as you add that together. So I'm just going to let that cool for a second there. Grab a spoon or a spatula and start stirring that together. So stirring that mixture. So this is best if you pop it in the fridge to set slightly, because it is a little bit of a gooey mixture. So if you let it set slightly, it's easier then to pop onto your tray. So I'm just going to pop that coconut oil in there, and then give that another stir. And so this is the point where if you wanted to add raisins or chocolate chips, you could put chocolate chips in at this point, then this is the point you would put them in. So I'm just going to rub that all in nicely together. And then we're going to put that in the fridge for about 10 minutes, just to firm up and to let the oats and the flour absorb all of the rest of the ingredients. So just going to pop that in the fridge for 10 minutes and then we'll pop them on the bake. Okay, so you can see that the mixture's stiffened up nicely in the fridge. So I'm just going to use 1 teaspoon and I'm just going to put some round balls, literally just scoop out a chunk. I've used a silicone baking sheet that I pop on top of my tray, but you can just use baking paper, that's absolutely fine. So I'm literally just going to put my little balls of mixture. You can use your hands if that's easier, if you want to make them more circular. If the children are doing them with you, then they always enjoy making little balls. And the nice thing about this mixture is you can leave it in the fridge. So if you don't want to cook them all at once, obviously they're better once you've cooked them on the day that you've eaten them. That one's quite big, let's take a little bit off that one. And so I'm just going to cook 6 for now. So here we go. And they'll just need to go in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes. So there we go, nice little balls. I'm just going to squash them slightly, just so they're a little bit flatter. There we go. and pop those in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes. And then some nice easy cookies for tea. Okay, so they should be ready now, so I'm going to grab the cookies from the oven. And there we go, we're just starting to go golden on top, so I'm going to leave those to set now. I don't want to make them too hard because I want them to be nice and chewy. So meanwhile, I've wrapped up the rest of the mixture into cling film. I'm just going to pop that in the fridge, so I've got something for another day. And yeah, they cooked for, they were 10 minutes in the oven on about 180 degrees, so just a medium heat. So yeah, enjoy. See you soon. Bye.